love. I am about to start a universal love collective to see what's going on with this couple. Guys, please be sure to take what resonates and leave what does not. I do want to start off by saying I love you and thank you for watching this video. If you need to reach out to me for a reading, you can use the link in the description of this video as well as the link over in my bio. I would never reach out to you for a reading, but all of my private readings are done same day. This one is going to be a cute, short one. You know, I do have some channeled messages over here for this HeartStrings collective. Changing, someone could be, like there could be a quick shift in plans. Like someone could be changing plans like very suddenly or keep changing the subject very suddenly. And it's because there's some type of plans that they're not wanting to like fully disclose, and because of this their significant other is going to be like over analyzing them. There's something about like not ruining some type of surprise here. Okay. Closing out the final chapter of an old book could also be of significance. You know, the final chapters of an old book are being closed out, finally being squared away. Okay. Something about stopping right before crossing a line. Okay. Stopping right before crossing a line. Someone is overstaying their welcome. Okay. Overstaying their welcome could be of significance. Okay. Spike Lee, do the right thing could also be of significance. I have down here finding absolute joy in something that others consider peculiar. Finding absolute joy in something others consider peculiar. Okay. And the last download that I have here is not being able to imagine life without your significant other. Ryan, hi, lovely. Oh my gosh, how did everything go? I was supposed to email you back. I forgot all about that. Girl, I'll email you after. I hope that you're okay. I hope that everything went well. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. Spirit, can we get some clarity for this couple? Can we get some clarity for this couple, please? Let's see. Not good. All right, lovely. Just send me an email, Raya. I don't want you to put everything on YouTube, of course. You can just send me an email, lovely. I will email you. Okay. Okay. All right. Lordy, let's continue. So, can we clarify these heartstrings that are being pulled right now? Clarify the heartstrings that are being pulled, Spirit. First card we have here is I'm going through a dark night of the soul and I need space. This is the very first card we have out here. So someone could be going through a dark night at this time. I want to rebuild our connection. Okay. The next card we have here, the flashbacks I have about us are intense. I really fumbled you and now I'm paying the price. Okay, so this dark night of the soul that someone is going through, it's not stopping the love that they have for you. It's igniting or it's amplifying the love that they already have for you here. Especially if this person was trying to like, I want to say trying. It's like their attention was being put elsewhere, you know, in other spaces and places that probably wasn't serving them, which is why they had to go through this dark night of the soul before being able to really come to terms with what they had and what they lost. You know, but in this person's mind, all isn't lost here. You know, I feel like in this person's mind, like with them paying the price, with them in some way, shape, or form being able to go through this dark night of the soul, they do still want to rebuild this connection. They do still feel that there is a possibility of rekindling, and this could possibly have a lot to do with the fact that there is still a cord. There's still a telepathic cord here. You guys could be sending each other. I don't know if this is purposefully or not, but I do see flashbacks out here. So that's, you know, telling me that there is still a cord attached. So, this says the flashbacks I have about us are intense. So, you guys could be in no contact. You guys could be in separation from one another right now. But all hope isn't lost here. You know, you definitely still have heartstrings. You definitely still play on this person's heartstrings throughout this dark night of the soul that they are going through. Hey, y'all. Like that live for me. Like the live. Hello, everyone. Okay, let's see. I am going through a dark night of the soul and I need space. Spirit, please clarify that. What is having to be cleansed out of this person's energy? What epiphanies are they coming to realize? What's going on here throughout this dark night of the soul? Chasing thrills. This says pursuit, toxicity, and resilience. This is the dark night of the soul that they are going through. You know, chasing what isn't serving them as opposed to being present in the life that they are currently serving. There's something about being present, okay? Being able to move from a present place, okay? A conscious decision about what you're planning, which direction your life is going in, and trusting that process. You know, not chasing thrills, toxicity. I'm picking up on habits, like toxic habits as well, that could be of significance here. It says, I want to rebuild our connection. Can we get some clarity for this? Distracted, sidetracked, changed, and delays. Definitely wasn't giving this connection as much as they could. You know, their attention was being pulled in multiple directions. Okay. But even with all this being said, they still want to have some type of future here. They're still wanting to, you know, see what could come about this. It's like this person feels like there's still life here in this relationship and connection. Even though you guys might be separated, even though you guys might be apart, may even be in no contact, you know, this person is going through a period of just taking accountability for their own actions and reassessing their life, you know, and filtering out what isn't serving them. You know, you're still on their mind. I literally see soulmates right here. You're still on their mind throughout this entire process, and I see bluff on the bottom of the deck. There's something about this person having to be comfortable in their authentic energy so that they can be present in it. You know, they had to be comfortable in it so that they can be present in it. And that comfortability was very uncomfortable. Like, how can I put this? That realization was when it was an uncomfortable one, because they didn't want to look at themselves. All they would see is all the mistakes that they've made, all the times they didn't trust their intuition, and so on and so forth. You know, so while you guys were separated or apart from one another, I feel like this person finally took the courage to like go within and figure out what they needed to do for this relationship and connection to succeed and thrive here. So let's see. The flashbacks I have about us are intense. Oh, it says bitterness out here. We have resentment, anger, and hurtful words. These flashbacks could consist of arguments. Okay, arguments turn to other things. I picked up on that energy yesterday. This could be right before or right after the ordeal. You guys would have to tell me. I really fumbled you and now I'm paying the price. Please clarify that. Clarity. Oh, truth, intentions, and honesty. Well, that's a start. That is a start. At least they're being honest with themselves. At least they're taking accountability. I know for a lot of you guys that's not enough, but we have to start somewhere. And what's crazy is what's right on the bottom of the deck is only you. So for those of you that have been looking to reconcile with this person, that have been in no contact with this person, or you guys just have been at a distance from one another, this could be your twin flame. There is going to be some type of reconciliation here. This could you could share a family with this person, or this person could be wanting like a future with you, in that way. Just not in the mindset that they are in, or not like in the not right now. Like they're not the person that they need to even be able to really give you this. You know, this distance really was needed for this person to look at themselves. Like, look at yourself. Are you even really who you claim to be? Are you even really who you want to be? Is what you're doing actually making you happy and serving you some type of purpose, or is it all, you know, for shits and giggles? Hello, everyone. If you are just coming in, thank you for joining. Like that video for me. My name is Gypsy Lou Love. Hi. Hello. So let's tap into the overall. I think I want to pull from the bottom with this tarot. I think I want to pull from the bottom with this and just see what comes out. I think I want to pull from the bottom. I hope I can remember to leave it. Every time I try to use this method, I always forget and end up shuffling, but I'm hoping that I can remember. Okay. Clarify chasing. Oh, the Three of Wands is out here. Wow, that is a big leap. That is a big leap. I was about to shuffle. That is a big leap here. When you think about the Three of Wands, this is finally being able to like the see the horizon after all the smoke is cleared and after all the fog is cleared, which direction you truly want to go in your life. Okay. This is like right after high school or right after college or something, and you have free will to go in whichever direction you want, after coming from a period of not knowing if you would be initiated into the next phase. Well, now that you're in the next phase, what does that look like? What does that consist of? And this is what this person is looking to embark on, maybe even with you. It says, I want to rebuild our relationship and connection. So we're going to see if this is what's coming up first. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. If this is what's coming up first, or if this is just going to be, something that happens over time here. Yeah, I see the Four of Swords out here. So this isn't going to be the very first thing on their mind, is rebuilding this connection with you. They're really going to be getting into a space and place where they can be who they are supposed to be. The Four of Swords is out here. Is all that necessary tender love and care, all around the bushes and so on and so forth. I'm picking up on a wax. Somebody could need to get that Gucci wax. All right. Or if you're a masculine, go and get that booty wax. Booty, booty. Anywho, let's continue, shall we? Now, it says, I really fumbled you and now I'm paying the price. Clarify this with clarity. The Hermit. This paying the price with this is not being able to find real enjoyment in anything else that they were involving their time, effort, and energy into. It's like this person is finally being able to appreciate their own company because they're doing the things that actually make them happy, as opposed to things that may have just kept them entertained, for a short period of time. Okay, the Seven of Pentacles is out here. This person is really working on themselves. They're changing their habits. They're changing their habits and showing up every day. If you are planting something, this looks like internal wealth. This person is, their confidence and everything is truly coming from within. They are able, self-awareness and being able to love yourself to the fullest capacity before expecting or wanting to share and embark on a genuine love connection and expecting that person to be able to reciprocate what you give to yourself. Make sure that you are fully loving yourself to the fullest capacity. Okay, wow. And as I say that, they go from the Six of Pentacles to the freaking Nine of Pentacles. This person is dedicating so much time, effort, and energy into this process of change. of change. When they say that they want to rebuild the connection, they're not just saying that, to hear themselves talk or to make you happy. They are taking real action, to really step into this energy and make it a reality by changing themselves first, making sure that they actually have it to give, before just diving head in. The Four of Wands is out here. You go from the Four of Swords into the Four of Wands, and now you have some. Now they're coming forth. Now that they're in a period or a space or a place where, you know, the Nine of Pentacles is damn near the peak of success in some way, shape, or form. This is a space or place in your life where you really don't have any worries. It kind of gives like that I don't know how to pronounce it, or it's like Sex in the City vibes. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that here on YouTube. I hope I don't get banned. But it's the TV show. It kind of just gives that carefree, everything works itself out because it's like a well-oiled machine type of thing. You've done it before. You can do it in your sleep type of thing. So there's something about this person, that has all of that down pat, so much so that there's enough confidence built up for them to come forth and express how they really feel, to really be able to go on this fool's journey and this fool's path here. The Two of Cups. Okay, so this is where the story for rebuilding this connection is going to begin. I'm not sure what they were doing when they were chasing, whatever that dark night of the soul energy is. I'm quite positive we're going to get into it in order to filter it out. But I just want to, reiterate that that is the past and it's no longer the present. So we're just here to dig up what's already here to hopefully plant a new seed altogether. Oh, the Ten of Cups, absolutely amazing. Okay, and the world is out here. It seems like some of you guys, or a great deal of you guys, have been waiting for this reconciliation with this person, have been waiting to come back together with this person. So that's very good. And this is the seed that is to be planted here for this new beginning. Okay, so let's see how this is going to go, shall we? The Ten of Swords straight out the gate. I already knew it wasn't going to be an easy process or an easy task, to jump right back in or to start fresh again without first assessing the past. It was only going to be a matter of time, before you guys could rightfully, go on a fool's journey. You have to assess the baggage, truly and openly and honestly about how maybe it made you feel, actually taking the time to apologize and so on and so forth. Just a heart-to-heart conversation, or maybe even multiple heart-to-heart conversations about the past and how it transpired and what different actions need to be taken in the future in order to prevent possibly such, misery, such low vibrational energy here. There's something about stopping it in its tracks, or one, not letting things get piled up and built up over time and pain on pain on pain on pain. But when there is something that is bothering you or hurting you, being having a comfortable safe space and place to be able to truly express, what is going on with you, so that your partner can understand and be able to love you the way that you need to be loved. This is like just healthy communication overall about all that transpired here, and this is because both parties do still want to stay together, so it's not in a combative way. It's really truly a way to like understand their lover. Like, this is what happened and this is how I was hurt and I don't want this to happen again, or I don't want to feel this way again. There's something about being vulnerable and being open and honest about what hurt you, so that consideration, I guess, can be taken into account when it comes to divine love. Okay, so that we know what's below the belt, what's the limit, or what's, you understand what I'm saying? Where the boundaries lie. There was a lot. This is 10 swords, and then we have 5 swords over each other, which is 6 swords, which indicates that it's not impossible, for these two people to move on from this and to have a new beginning. There may be some residual, I'm hearing, residuals by, what's his face? Chris Brown, I think. Yeah, it's definitely Chris Brown. But there's going to be some residual energy, but nothing that's going to really weigh in on their future. It's just something to keep in mind, about where they've come from or how far they've come and how much willpower and strength they really have to continue on their path here. The Justice card is out here. It's just a part of the testimony that not all love is easy love. Not all of the memories will be good memories. Some of the memories will be bad. Some of the memories will be chaotic, traumatic. I see the tower out here, and that's when the healthy boundaries come into play, especially for those of you that are already married or already in these soul contracts that it's not all that easy as just a breakup, you know and some of you have families together and so on and so forth. So there's so many more factors tied into it. Even if you don't have those contracts, love is love. You can't just, as much as we would like to think that we can, it's not easy to just always walk away from it. But there's something about if you're going to stay together, trying to prevent less. I'm hearing small fires. Somebody could have just watched that TV show. I think that's a TV show. Um, But yes, healthy boundaries is definitely of significance here. I see the Six of Cups and the Ace of Swords in the Tower. There's something about being at. I'm hearing like once you hit rock bottom, like there's nowhere but up that they can go from. I feel like this couple collective has experienced the worst, okay, or the pits, the pits. When it comes to the trials and tribulations that you've experienced in this relationship, and the fact that you guys are still deciding to stay together really says a lot, okay. And there's something about keeping that in mind throughout this process. Once you are in a space and place where you can truly express how you feel, there's a need for, again, continuing those healthy boundaries. This is not to say that just because you guys have had a heart to heart, coming together does not mean that everything is going to be miraculously cleared away. There's something about still allowing things to unfold or un I'm hearing unthaw, but it's like allowing things to unfold at a natural pace. Just because you had a heart to heart conversation with your significant other doesn't necessarily mean that it's water under the bridge, but it's a start. It's a start. As I say that, the moon is here, the Three of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and the Temperance is out here. It's not always to say that it's going to be an easy task, once the heart to heart conversations about the past are brought up and talked about. It's just an understanding. That's to be, something to be, to keep in mind, like I said already, about longevity and the relationship and the I'm hearing vitality, but that's not the word. The longevity of the relationship, but also like the quality of it, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term. The quality of it. Something about being together with this person because the love is good rather than it simply being out of familiarity. I'm doing life with this person because I don't want to do life with anyone else, as opposed to, not being able to, or not, thinking that you'll find the person or anything else that'll come into mind. The Seven of Wands is out here with the moon. And the High Priestess is out here. And this could be that telepathic communication between both parties. Being able to slow down. Okay, I'm hearing slow down. Girl, let me love you. The Seven of Wands talks about challenges, trials and tribulations, things that, we might forgive, but the bitterness and the residual still, lie there for you to deal with or alchemize or filter out. There's something about taking your time, or how can I put this? The Seven of Wands and the High Priestess. Oh, what worked today might not work tomorrow. What worked tomorrow, and so Jesus Christ, what worked yesterday might not work today, and what works today might not work tomorrow. But with the ultimate goal in mind is to rebuild the connection. There is something about continuing to find some type of solution to each experience until you guys get to a place and space where you feel vulnerable again, or a space and place where you can trust your significant other. There's something about just ultimately not letting anything get in the way of, coming back together in a harmonious way and keeping that in mind throughout the entire process. Oh, the Seven of Swords is over here with the Two of Wands. Ooh. The Knight of Wands. This is slow. This is a slow burn. This is the part of, you see how there's this tower here? This tower did not start from one small fire. This tower started from multiple small fires and multiple periods and multiple aspects that was never addressed, okay, that was never put out. And there's something about having to truly unwind, and it's like going back to the start or the root of every single one is down there, like opening up a fresh wound again. The Two of Wands and the Seven of Swords is out here. With the Seven of Wands, is this is not going to be an easy process. It's not. Even though this person isn't who they were before, there's something about them still having to take accountability in love for how they made their significant other feel, or really what they put their significant other through more than anything. It's like, hurt people, but that does not, we're not just going to overlook what you did when you were in pain. You understand what I'm saying? And that's going to be a process. Here it is. The Eight of Swords is out here. Ooh, it's going to be very, this is kind of giving imposter syndrome to me. Once it's all said, like once it's all out, I guess, on the table or out on the forefront, there's something about fight or flight, could trigger this person, of course. But there's something about, and did I say imposter syndrome already? Imposter syndrome, them trying to forgive themselves, I guess you could say, and like offer forgiveness as well as forgiving themselves for everything that they have done, to still be present. There's something about, even with them filtering out the past, still allowing themselves to be present in all of the work that they have done. But this is a part of the work. I'm picking up on, like, judgment, when, like, a confessional or something, when someone goes to the confessional and they go to confess their sins and they have to, essentially apologize to the people that they have wronged. I've seen that. I've also seen it in therapy, where you know that you weren't in the right space and place in your life, and you went out of your way to bring that same misery upon others. And this is a way of, this is a like a way of, it's not confessing your sins, it's a redemption, I guess you could say, for a new beginning, is to fully take accountability for what you have done. And this alone is going to trigger the fuck out of this person. I'm not going to lie. It's going to trigger them. And it's because of, I feel like a lot of the things that they were doing was just unconscious. This chasing and distracted energy, it just gives unconscious. It gives, I never meant to hurt you. I mean, like, what's his name? Eminem, when he was clearing out, he was just telling his life, but he knew him telling his truth was going to break his mom's heart to hear how he perceived her treatment to him. You feel what I'm saying? Even if that wasn't her intention, or in her book, that's not how it played out. The way that he depicts it, huh? And that's what's going to be the trigger for this person, is those heart to heart conversations where, it is put all out on the forefront how, someone felt throughout all of this happening. It's like, damn, I did that? Me? Did I really do all that? I don't remember. No, you need to remember, because I have the receipts. Okay, I got the scars to prove it. That could be of significance. The Ace of Wands is out here, and the Chariot is out here, but it's not to hurt, or it's really just to continue to bring clarity and to continue to clear out the baggage, to continue to be understood, remembering those boundaries and those below the belt moments, and so on and so forth. It's not really to break these two people up. It's actually to bring them closer together, to talk about where it all started to go to shit, where things really started to, get to a point of no return. You know, these two people being in a better space and place in their life to be able to talk about this in an open way is what's going to bring them back together. Even if in the beginning it don't feel all of that good to hear, it don't feel all that good to revisit and bring back up. It's that vulnerability is really going to be the only thing that allows them to continue on this path with no, like, with less, I guess you could say, bitterness and resentment and, you know, being misunderstood and pent up emotions and so on and so forth. No, the Queen of Cups is out here with the Empress is out here. Heavy emphasis on to be understood, to be heard, to be felt, not to guilt or manipulate or, you know, belittle or take away or anything like that. I keep picking up on this negative, like this shadowy energy coming in. Like I'm hearing someone say you're only doing this or you're only saying this because you can't. Like I'm picking up on someone feeling like their significant other is only bringing up these things or only bringing these things up because they can't fathom who they are. Like that's not even me. Why are you talking about that? Well, I'm picking up on somebody essentially wanting to like run away from or not wanting to hear the horrors. Ugh, the horrors, but they need to hear it. They do need to hear it because it's how their significant other feels and it's the only way that they're going to be able to get over this hump and hurdle. The Empress is out here, the Ace of Pentacles is out here, the Two of Swords, and the Ten of Pentacles. This is the ultimate seed being planted. It's really about the foundation of this. If they're going to have a true new beginning, a real solid foundation, there's something about being able to be open and honest about how you feel and whatever it is that you're going through, you know, essentially judgment free. You know, there has to be a level of truth and clarity that can be expressed regardless of if it hurts your feelings or not. This is how I feel. There's something about raw emotions or tough love or something like that could be of significance, but it's absolutely needed here. No more sugarcoating, no more rose colored glasses or anything of that nature, but the truth. The truth is, this relationship is not perfect, but both of these people are still wanting to build something here, wanting to be together. And the easiest way for them to do that is to be real about the shit that hurt them or the things that got them off their divine path in the first place. What is going on down here in the chat? What is going on down here? Hello, people. Guys, please don't spam. Okay, hi, lady. Thank you for commenting down below. It was good to see you. Thank you for keeping up with me in the chat. I appreciate you. It seems like you're the only person in here keep giving me some life. If anyone else is in here, please comment down below. It's good to see you guys. Hello, everyone. Okay, so what's this Knight of Swords here? What is this Knight of Swords? Okay, let's tap. I want to pull on a few more oracles, and then I'm going to go back to finishing off the tarot. I do have a little bit of extra time today. My kiddos have therapy, and Dad's taking care of that. Thank God. So I do have a little bit of extra time. What's this Knight of Swords? I can't promise you anything. I'm scared of rejection. Drama. This is the filtering. Like I said, someone wanting to run away. Not run away, but not really wanting to see or hear. I'm picking up on two people in therapy and I'm hearing the person say, cut the cameras. Cut the cameras. And it's not, it's almost like someone can't believe. It says the way I have treated you is wrong. It's right here on the bottom of the day. It's almost like someone can't believe. Like it's unbelievable. It's unfathomable. Like I don't remember doing that. I didn't do it. Blah, blah, blah. It's like someone is denying or pleading the fifth, pleading the fifth, pleading the fifth. But a lot, so many of their decisions were made unconscious that it just hurts this person to hear how much they have hurt the person that they love. Like, I didn't even know that I did all that, or I can't even imagine what you may have felt when I was doing that to you because I don't even remember doing it. And now that I'm in my right mind, I would never do that. I can't even fathom myself doing that. I don't even know what brought me to doing something like that. The judgment is out here. Like, I can't even fathom what the hell would draw me or bring me to do what I did. Okay, a part of me doesn't want to. A part of me doesn't want to take accountability, but I'm hearing I got you on candid camera. So some of you guys who could have proof of this, or it's just based off of how you feel or how you're expressing what is happening. That it's like how you tell the story or how you speak about your emotions. This person knows that it has to be true, just based off of how deeply you express it. The Two of Pentacles is out here, and the Ten of Wands is out here. There's something about both of you guys being able to carry the burden of the energy now, as opposed to it just being one person. You know, this person is being able to kind of give their lover back all the negativity that they were holding on to for the grace or for the sake of their significant other going through a phase. But it's like, yeah, I remember when you was going through that shit, you gave me this. I just want to give it back to you. The Four of Pentacles is out here. And the devil is out here right behind that. You know, if you can't dish it out, you probably shouldn't give it out. Okay, I'm hearing she don't know what she doing. This bitch just giving it out. No, seriously, they ain't know what they was doing. They was just giving it out. They were just misery. Just like that. That is so on point because they really did not know what they was doing. It was not conscious decisions and make decisions being made. They weren't thinking about it. They weren't thinking about the before or the aftermath. They were just doing shit. You know, just doing shit. Okay, the Emperor is out here now, though. The Emperor is out here now. And the Eight of Cups, thankfully, they've walked away from that mindset. You know, they've walked away from that, you know, taking whatever options of confusion that the devil had to offer literally, that the devil had to offer at the time, and finally stepping into that ace, stepping into the one that they always knew to be true. Okay, that took for them to first love themselves, though. They was never going to be able to properly put forth the necessary love in this connection if they didn't even love themselves enough to know who was for them and who wasn't for them, what was good for them and what wasn't good for them. They could not even tell that. You know, so then this is not to justify their actions or to make light of what was being expressed, but they really just wasn't making any conscious decisions. You know, that doesn't mean that it hurt you any less than what it did. It probably hurt you even more because of the intensity of the connection that you already shared. So it's just a lot of emotions are being put on the table at this time when it comes to this connection. But somebody had to learn, you know, the difference between what they want and what they actually need here. It took for them to work on themselves. It took time. You know, it took dedicated time, effort, and energy. It took a lot of old relationships being filtered out. It took a lot of grieving, you know, grieving, releasing, surrendering, walking away from, you know, having enough courage and strength to, and so on and so forth. It just took a lot. I was a old, like this person was grieving an old version of themselves, King of Wands, you know, to step into the Emperor. It's like someone was a King of Wands, but they were a karmic King of Wands. They did not. This is just someone that was so, you know, like when you're 18 or when you're 21 and you can drive and you got your own, like nobody can tell you shit, but you don't really know shit, but you can do what you want to do. That's kind of what it gives. Like they were just doing what they did, what they wanted to do, and they didn't really know shit. You know, they were just doing anything thinking that their actions wouldn't have repercussions, and it did. It does. It always does. Even when you don't have anyone to answer to, at the end of the day, you have to be able to look yourself in the mirror, okay, and be comfortable with who the hell is looking back at you. All right. The King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles is out here, and the Death card. Okay, this was a lot. This was how someone saw themselves, how they spoke to themselves, or how they viewed themselves, and what they felt that they deserved, and how they loved themselves and nurtured themselves. It was more so egotistical affirmations. I'm hearing, yeah, I do what I want. I'm hearing like Uzi, like they were speaking positivity to themselves in order for them to move how they wanted to move, but it wasn't in a divine way. It's like they were nurturing their ego. They were catering to their ego. They were, boosting it, like literally boosting it until their head just got too big. Poof, inflated. Inflation. The Six of Pentacles is out here. Okay. They realized that they were in connections that didn't actually see them, serve them, know them, and everything. It was like there was so disconnected from the true reality, of who they were. They realized that the connections that they were in just simply did not serve them any purpose. Nothing. It was really just a distraction from the things that actually mattered in their life. The stars out here, which is their self, first and foremost. Aquarius energy could also be of significance. Scorpio. We have the King of Swords out here. The way that someone goes about this now is so much different. They make sure that anything that they do, they understand that whatever they put out there is going to come back to them. So this person is living a lot more in their divinity now. They think twice, about what's to lose. And is this going to cost me my sanity, my peace of mind, my dignity, my courage, my confidence, and anything else? If it's going to cost me any of those things, I don't think I want it. I don't think it's worth it. They're finally in a space and place now where they're not willing to lose themselves to things that don't serve them. The Six of Swords is out here, talking about moving on, but moving on in the right way. Not moving on to escape or run, but really, truly closing out an old chapter. Didn't I say that? Final chapters of old books are being filtered out for new ones to be initiated here. The Hierophant is out here. The Hierophant. This is divinity, stepping into divine alignment on this path and journey. Before they could do this, they had a lot of baggage to let go of. They had a lot of things that they needed to filter out here. The Nine of Cups. And now that they have done that, there's so much ample room for the future, for them to have a better future than the past that they've experienced with one another. The Nine of Swords is out here right behind that. Okay. How? How many more cards? Okay, we're coming up to our end. We have the Three of Cups out here. This talks about celebrating, having a good time, being on the same page as your significant other. Your stress is no longer about, if you guys are compatible with one another, but more so about how you guys are going to navigate the world, what's to come next in life, as opposed to, are we doing life together, or are we doing it right? Are we right for each other to be doing life together? Now that they're past that hurdle, it's now about how are they supposed to live a significant life? What does that look like for the two of them? But it seems like, it's nothing that they can't handle. It's nothing that, it's like they can come to any type of agreement that they want to when it comes to this. Okay, any type of common denominator. I'm picking up on two people moving. Like, am I going to your house? Are you going to my house? And I'm picking up on neither of them. They decide to get a place together. The Magician is out here and the Queen of Wands is out here. Both parties are ready and willing to put in the necessary. Uh, oh, all kings. Okay, I see the King of Pentacles and the King of Cups. And I see the Knight of Pentacles. Both parties are willing to put in the necessary time, effort, and energy to heal and mend this connection. There is an emotional understanding as well as financial stability here for both parties that I feel like wasn't really here before. Heavy on the understanding of self to then be able to be like have a financial standing. There's something about like your inner foundation matching your outer foundation, so within, so without. You know, these people, they're like, this is a true twin flame connection now. Like a twin flame connection that could potentially go into a soulmate connection rather than a karmic twin flame connection having to work its way up from karmic energy into divinity. They've gone through that process and now they can begin twin flame into soulmate. It's going to take some time. It's going to continue to take time, but I feel like these two people are willing to take it. Okay, if I could go back in time, I would handle us, as I literally just said that, I would handle us differently, but they're not going back in time. They're just taking their time now to make sure that like they're present and they're living the life that they want to live, making conscious decisions, you know? All right. All right, guys. Now that that's all taken care of and done, we are at our 45-minute mark, which is perfect. If you guys like this reading, please be sure to like the video. This is my medium. If you guys like this reading, I offer it as a large. I think this is the large size reading. I think this is large. I have a medium, I have a small, a medium, a large, and an extra large. And I think the 45-minute one is the large one. Okay, so you guys can go check that out if you would like one of these readings for yourself. Okay, of course, the more questions you ask, the less I'm going to be able to truly tap into your energy, you know, so just be mindful of that. You guys always want to book the readings and then ask 1,000 questions in there, so the energy is so jumbled. So when you come over here and you hear that it's just one topic or one question, it's so much more cohesive. I'll be trying to tell y'all. But I love you guys so much. I do offer same day readings and all of them are done. I do offer private readings and all of them are done same day. Okay? If you guys want to send me a tip or donation, I appreciate that too. The link is in my bio as well as in the description. Okay? I'll be back on here in about 30 minutes or so. I love you guys so much. Bye bye.